Recognized as a Dragon-type Pokemon and a very sought-out Pokemon in any game and media whatsoever, Charizard is one of the most famous Pokemon starter evolutions out there. From its fire-breathing attacks to its Dragon-type attacks as well, it is a sought-out Pokemon in any game. And in this video, we're going to build the deluxe version of its Nanoblock set right here on the channel. So, grab your tweezers, grab anything that you might need, and let's get started. Because we're taking care of a Nanoblock build in the deluxe version, the plastic tray that we normally use for the builds is not going to help us whatsoever. Luckily, it always comes inside a box with a box, and we're going to use that box from inside this packaging as our tray to separate all of our pieces that we're going to need for this build. And just keep in mind that it will also come with some very special bricks as well. So we're going to have some very unique bricks, including some reverse slope bricks, some connectors as well for the wings, and of course some very special slopes as well. And of course, because of how big this build is going to be, we're going to be having some chapters in this video so you can skip to any part that you might need to help with your build. So, with the Charizard build, it's going to be quite well. Let's find out how many bags we've got. Chances are we might even have to do the arms and the neck separate as well, and the tail, because they're all movable parts as well. There we go. So we have got, in addition to this massive instruction booklet, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bags, and the big bags do contain the smaller bags, so that will be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 bags to sort through. And like I said at the beginning of this video, it's not going to be doable with the tray to sort out all the pieces. So this tray, is going to be the perfect bit sorter for us. So I'm going to get started on sorting out all the bricks that we'll need. The organizing has taken at least an hour to get through because there were so many bags and so many bricks to sort out and figure out how many you need for each step. But, well, for the build really, but nonetheless, it is done and I am ready to show you what is needed for each, for this deluxe model. So we're going to start with the creams first because that is where step 1 through 5 begins with. And of course, it will carry on later on as we move towards other parts of Charizard. But I might as well start with this tray first. So we've got 7 cream 2x8s here, followed by a cream 2x4 with a slope on one end right here. Next up, there are 5 cream 2x4s, followed by, how many else? Oh, here we go, 8 of these. These 6 1x6s right here. And we've also got some underslope 1x2s right here. We've got 8 of those. Then we've got 10 cream 1x2s, followed by 1x2s with a little slope at the edge right here. We've got 18 of those. Then we've got 4 1x2s here with a downward slope here. And 4 1x2s with a very sharp, different angle slope right here. Next up, we've got 6 1x1s here, followed by 11 1x4s. Next up, we've also got some cream 2x3s. We've got 23 of these. And I believe that is it for the cream bricks. I have mentioned all of them. Now we're going to move on to some of the other more detailed bricks, just to save us a bit of time going over the video. So I've got a pink 1x2 with a little ball right here at the end. This isn't very unique to this video, but it has been shown in a different build. If you want to check out that video, guys, I'll leave the link for that right here on the card. We've also got a pink 1x2 right here, followed by a 2 dark brown 1x1s and 1x2s here. Then we've got a white 1x3 here, followed by 2 1x1s and 16 circular 1x1s here, which are going to be for the fangs and the claws of Charizard. Then we've got a curved black 1x3 right here. Next up, we've got some see-through bricks, which are going to be the flame of Charizard on its tail. We've got a see-through orange 1x1 here, 7 1x2s, 2 2x3s, and 3 Ls right here. Next up, we've got some see-through reds. We've got a 1x3 with 2 pegs. We got 2 of these. A 1x1 right here. 4 1x2s and 2 2x2s. Those are the red ones. The yellow ones, we've got a 1x2 here, a 2x2, and 5 Ts. So those are the yellow ones. I will go over the orange ones and blue ones later on in the video, but for now, I'm going to get started on step 1, where we're going to be working on Charizard's body itself. To start off with the build for our Deluxe Charizard, we have got into step 1 of the build, and we have started off with a cream 2x8 right here in vertical position. Then on top of that is 2 more cream 1x4s, one here and one here to sort of help balance it out together. Then at the back here is another cream 2x8. To help out with the underbelly of Charizard. Then, on both sides at the front here are 2 cream 1x4s, and you have to make sure that they are aligned with the 2x8 that we began with the build on. So, with that step out of the way, it's a pretty easy one. I'm now going to move on to step 2 here on the camera, and it's really easy. You start with a cream 2x3 and place it right here, in between the 2x8s and the 1x4s as such. Then the 2 cream Ls, one here and one here. And that is it for step 2 of the build. I'm now going to get to work on step 3, where it is working on more of the curve for Charizard itself. But we also need to remove this from the display. So, luckily, these tweezers really do help out. So we're now done with the little sub-assemblies for part 3, but we haven't even attached them onto the model yet, but we will do that as I explain what I've first done with the sub-assemblies. So I began with this one right here for the front of the Charizard model. I began with a row of 1x2s with a curve underneath the brick right here, with a slope. And then I applied them underneath some 2x3s right here, and I also attached a 1x4 right here at the very front, so that it all links together. Then once that was done, I went and grabbed another 1x4 and placed it at the back of the column that I did here, and then I grabbed 2 more 1x2 slopes, one here and then one here, and that was it for the front part of the belly. So now I'm going to attach this onto the model itself. Just gotta make sure that's attached like that, so it looks just like what you see on the screen. Now for the back of the model, there is it's a little different to the front. So I began with 3 lots of 1x2s with slopes, and I placed them side by side, and then underneath a cream 2x3 right here. So that's all linked together. Then I went and grabbed a 2x4 here, placed it right on the, it doesn't really matter which side because it's going to be the same regardless. So it is over the 2 left slopes here on the right hand side, and the right 2 here on the left hand side, which would leave gaps on the slopes that we've done. So to fill this in, we have to apply some cream 1x1s here and here over the odd pegs that we haven't placed onto the onto a model yet. And then we just apply it right here at the back as such. And there we go. This is what the end of step 3 should look like, and I am very pleased with it. And I'm looking forward to step 4 because we're going to be adding some more cream pieces onto the model. And I'll show you exactly in just a second. So we're now done with step 4 with the sub-assemblies more specifically. So each one of these sub-assemblies requires a cream 2x3 here, and then a 1x2 with a step and slope like this. And what you have to do with each of the step and slopes is for one of the 2x3s, you place it on the right row, the right column of the 2x3 here, and then another on the left side as such. And then exactly the opposite way, on the opposite side, sorry, kind of like a mirror build, if you will. So one in this row here, and then another like here. And then once that is done, we just apply each one to the model as such, so that it looks like there's a cream 2x3 gap right in the body of Charizard. So that's it for step 4. We're now going to get to work on step 5, where we're going to be doing more of the same. But instead of the steps, we're actually going to be using more of these little slopes right here. For step 5 of the build, we have done exactly the sub-assembly that we need. So for each one of these sub-assemblies, I had to grab another cream 2x3 and another 1x2 step, and make sure that the step was either in the middle of the right side for this side here, and left side on this side here. And this is actually a pretty good idea to use that brick first, because then you know exactly where to put this 1x2 underslope here for the next brick, so that it is aligned together with what we've already started off with earlier on in the build. So this is what the model should look like now. It's all nicely aligned, and just what we need. So now we're going to move on to step 5 of the build, and this is where we're going to need some of the orange bricks for Charizard's flamey body. So instead of me showing you the entire box, I'm going to show you the bricks needed for the step and how many are needed for the build altogether. So we've now got the bricks that we're going to need for part 1 of step 6, but I thought it would be a good idea to show you how many is needed for this construction. So we have got some 1x4s here. We've got 29 of these. We have 52 1x3s, but that is not the majority of the oranges in this build. We've got 58 2x4s, not the majority. The 2x3s here, we've got 44 of these. We have 12 T's, orange T's here. And get ready for this, 76 orange L's. We have 76 of these. And there is going to be a lot of these. I don't know how they're going to be implemented, but that's what we've got to work with. So, with that over and done with, I'm now going to get to work on part 1 of step 6. Okay, so for step 6 of step 1 of part 6, we have got started out on the legs of Charizard. So each step requires a 2x4 here in a horizontal position, sorry. Then I place a 1x4 right one on the left side and one on the right side. And then I grabbed another 1x3 and then placed it on again where they were going. Then turn them around, and as you can see on this one, they've each got an orange 2x3 where it's connected right in the middle of the orange 2x4 and the 1x4 underneath it. Then to the right of this brick, this sub-assembly here, is an orange T where the peg is facing north, and an orange L where the gap is facing northeast. And on the right, on this side here, underneath each of the L is a 1x3. And the exact opposite is said for this side of the sub-assembly. So the T is still facing north, but the L has its gap facing northwest. So that is how you start off the this sub-assembly of step 6. I'm now going to get some more pieces to show you what you need for this build for the second part of the step. So the new orange pieces that we need for this step are as follows. We've got 2 1x2s with a deep slope on it. And we've got 26 of these. We have 74 orange 1x2s here, and we've also got some 1x2 steps here. We've got exactly, if I can find it, yep, here it is, 18 of these. So for each one, we need to apply 2 at the back, of 2 of these on the back of each of the the sub-assemblies that we've done. And here they go, 1, 2. That's how we assemble it. Then we apply an orange 1x2 right underneath the T's of each of those sub-assemblies, and then an orange 1x2 slope on the outside underneath the L's. And there we go. That is each of those sub-assemblies completed, and now we can attach them to the body of Charizard. So one goes here, and the other is here. And there we go. We've now got some work done on Charizard's legs, and we're going to carry on with that in step 7. And we've got some new orange pieces to introduce you to the build to. We have got 21 2x8 orange bricks here. We've also got 6 1x2s with a Finio ball attached to it right here. And we've also got 28 1x2s with an underneath slope on one side of the brick. And that is it for the new bricks. I'm now going to show you exactly what to do next. We're now done with step 7 of the build, and it is a little more secure but a little loose in certain parts of the build. But don't worry about that, because it will be fixed in later steps of the build. So first of all, I began with the 2 cream L's here at the very front, where the left side has the gap facing northwest and the right side is northeast. And then I filled in those gaps with 2 more cream L's where the gaps are in the same position again. And then for those gaps in those back 2 L's are 2 2x3s creams, one here and one here. Once that was completed, I then grabbed a orange 1x2 with a slope underneath and attached it to both sides of the cream 2x3s to the both sides, right, one here and then one here, and then one peg back and then either to left or to right, well, on both sides of the build. There are 2 steep slope 1x2s here and here for the curving effect on Charizard's leg. Then behind each one of those is a orange 2x4, one here and one here. They're both in a vertical position so that they can help with the stabilize the build for Charizard. Then right here is another 1x2 steep slope orange brick here and here. Then I grabbed two orange 2x3s, one here and then one here. And then finally, to help connect everything, is an orange 2x8 right here in the back of the middle, in between those 2x3s at the bottom right here. Then I grabbed two orange L's, where this gap is facing the southeast, and this one is southwest. And then I grabbed two orange T's, and then placed them beside each of the L's. Now this one has its peg facing the east, and this one has gone west. And then right here at the back is the two orange 1x2s with the finial balls to connect to the tail. So that's it for step 7 of the build. I'm now going to get to work on step 8, where we're going to try and keep everything together on the body of Charizard. But we also have a new orange brick to show you guys. We have got 33 1x6s right here, and they are going to be crucial for the build of Charizard. So, let's see what we do with these. So we're now done with step 8 of the build, and it was a bit of a tricky one, but I'm glad that it was actually completed. So I began with this cream 1x6 right here at the very front, which is my foundation brick. Wait me 1 second, I believe, yep, there is a loose brick. Go. Yep, so this is the foundation brick right here, and then behind it is a cream 2x8 right here behind it to help everything stay locked together. Then I grabbed the two cream 1x3s that we needed for this build and placed them right on the side, both sides of the long end of the 2x8. Then I grabbed one orange 1x6, and this is kind of a mirror build, so it's done exactly to both sides. So each one has a 1x6 on both the left and the right hand side. Then I grabbed two orange 1x2s with steep slopes and placed them together right here. Then at the back right here is an orange L. Now on the left hand side, the gap is facing southeast, and on the right side it is facing southwest. So keep that in mind as you build this section. Then I grabbed a orange 2x4 and placed it in a vertical position here and here. Then another orange 1x4 for both sides here, and then here, again in a vertical position. Then another orange 1x6 over the finial ball orange bricks, right here in a horizontal vertical position as such. So that is it for step 8 of the build. I'm now going to move on to step 9, and yet there is another brick to introduce. It is an orange 2x2 with a very steep slope right here. Not as steep as the 1x2s that we've done, but it's nice and, well, it's a nice steep, deep curve of, well, slope. Kind of like a rooftop brick, if you will. So I'm going to get started on that. On the step 9, sorry. So we're now done with step 9 of the build, and we're about to move on to step 10 and 11 on camera to show you what you have to do. But before we actually get into that, let's move on to the build. So I began with the cream 2x8 right here, and I placed it in a vertical position at the very front, so that it should be like this. Yes, right here at the front, for front view. Then I grabbed two cream L's, and had the gaps filled in by the 2x8. So the one on the right is, the gap is facing the southwest, and the gap on the left is facing southeast. And keep in mind that this is another mirror build step right here. So we've got an orange T here, and we've got another one here. This peg has, well, our peg is facing west, this one is facing east. Then we've got some 2x2 slopes right here, one right here and here, making sure that it's facing out towards the body of Charizard. Then behind each one of those is an orange 1x3 right here, where the odd peg is away from the 2x2 slope that we did. So it should look like this, and they are both in a vertical position. Then on top of those 1x3s is a 2x3, one here and one here, so that it's all connected securely. Then I grabbed 4 orange L's, and I grabbed one here, where the gap is facing the northwest, and then another one where it's facing the same again, but it is connected to the top from the bottom parts here, and exactly the same on this side as well. Then at the back here is an orange 2x4 where the odd row of pegs is covering the ball pegs right here at the back of the model. So it should look like this. It's right, there we go. So that is it for step 9. I'm now going to get to work on step 10 on camera, and it's really easy. For step 10, you grab 2 1x2s, and then you place it, one right here, and then again on the same side, and it should look like this. And then for step 11, we're going to do 2 1x2s with a deep step. You place it one here. If I can get it out, there we go. Like that. And then another one here. So that is what it should look like after step 11. So Charizard does have a curved stomach. And with that out of the way, we're now going to get to work on step 12, and there's no new bricks. So we're now done with step 12 of the build, and like I said, there's no new orange bricks to introduce, but hopefully we will get some more in the later steps. But let's get on with the build itself. So I began with 2 cream 1x4s connected like a cream 1x8 right here at the very front of the build. Then I grabbed a cream 2x3 on both sides here and here, followed by some 1x6s, one here and one here. Then I grabbed 2 more 2x2s with a slope, so that kind of looks like a proper curve on Charizard's legs, as you can hopefully see right here. Nice effect. Then I grabbed some orange L's, so on the left hand side the gap is facing the northeast, and the right is the northwest. And then I grabbed a few more, 4 more, 2 on the left side and 2 on the right, where the left side has the gaps facing northwest and the right side is facing northeast. Then here at the back is 2 orange 2x3s right here, kind of like an orange 2x6 if you will. Then at the back is an orange 1x4 right here, so that it's all connected nicely. So with that over and done with, we're now going to move on to step 13 of the build for the body of Charizard. But we do have a new brick to introduce, and it's an orange 1x1, and we have 27 of these little bricks to work with. So we're going to put some into this model now. So we're now done with step 13 of the build, and we have utilized some of the little orange 1x1 bricks here in the build. But I'll get to that in a minute. But first, let me start off with the front of the build, where my foundation brick is. This cream 2x8 right here at the front, and then on both sides at the back of that 2x8 is a cream 1x1 right here and then here. Then directly behind it is kind of like another mirror build again. An orange 2x4 in a horizontal position, here and here. Then an orange 2x2 with the slope facing on this side to the left and this side to the right. And then in front of those bricks is an orange 1x2, one here. And then one here. And then right where the slopes are for each one on each side is a little orange 1x1. Just make sure that you don't have a gap on this peg right here or here, otherwise it will look inconsistent. If it does happen, use your tweezers to pull the brick out and then pop back in. Then, right next to each one of those orange 1x1s is a 2x3 here and here in a vertical position. Just make sure that it is one peg right behind the 2x2 slopes that we've done earlier. And then 2 orange T's where the odd pegs are facing to the north, and their gaps are filled by this orange 2x4 in a vertical position, so it should look like this. So with step 13 now over and done with, we're now going to move on to step 14 to carry on with the body of Charizard. Step 14 is now completed and it's starting to come a little more together now, which is brilliant, which is what I was hoping for. So to begin with, I started off with the 2 cream 1x4s here in the vertical position so that's in line with the stomach. Then on both sides is a cream 2x3 in a horizontal position where this one has its 3 rows of pegs to the right connected to this 1x4 and this one is to the left for this one. Then I placed an orange 1x1 in the middle of the right to the left and the right of the cream 2x3s that we did earlier. Then but on top of each one of those 1x1s is a long orange 1x6 here and here. Then right here is 2 orange L's where this one has the gap facing northeast and this one is northwest. And then to fill in the gap is an orange 2x8 right here. And then another 2x4 right here at the back for Charizard. So that's it for step 14 of the build. I'm now going to get to work on step 15, where it looks like we're carrying on with getting towards closer to the top of Charizard's body. So we are now done with step 4. We're now done with step 15 of the build, and we are getting closer and closer to, well, we've actually completed the top of the legs for Charizard, but we've still got more work to do on the body. But before we carry on with the body, let me explain what I did first. So I started off with the cream 2x8 right here in the vertical position again. Then on both sides is another cream 1x1 here, and then here. Then each side has an orange 2x3 and a 2x4 in a horizontal position so that it is linked up together. Just make sure that on the left hand side the pegs of the long sides of the pegs are on the right side facing over the 1x1, and on the right side is on the left side. Then 2 orange 2x2s where it's kind of like working towards say steps. And then at the back here is 2 orange 2x4s to help keep everything together. So that is it for step 15. I'm now going to get to work on step 16 to carry on with the body of Charizard. Step 16 of the build is now completed, and we have got a bit of a slope right here for the model, so I'll get to those in a second. So I began with the cream 2x4 in the middle of the 2x8 that we did, also in a vertical position. Then I grabbed 2 1x2s with a very steep slope to each one, and placed one on the left and one on the right of the bottom side of the 2x4 here. Then I grabbed 2 cream 2x3s and placed them in a horizontal position where row 3 is in line with the slope on both the right side on the left and the left side on the right. Then on both sides of those 2x3s is an orange 1x6 so that it is in line with the rest of the orange builds that we've done earlier. Then at the back here is some 2x3s, again in a horizontal position. Just make sure that they're at least 2 pegs away, 1, 2, from the cream 2x3 that we did earlier. Then at the back here is 2 orange 1x4s, one here and one here, both in a vertical position. Just pretend like it's a very long 1x8 if you're not sure what to do. And make sure that it is on the right side on the left here and the left side on the right. Then right in between both of those to help connect everything visually is an orange 2x4 in a vertical position, and then right in the middle of that, at the back on the top, is a orange 1x2. So that is it for step 16. I'm now going to get to work on step 17, where we're going to hopefully carry on with the body of Charizard and of course try to get closer towards the top. So we're now done with step 17 of the build, and we are getting closer and closer to the top of Charizard's body, but we've still got quite a bit of work to do. But first, to explain what I've done, I started off with the cream 1x6, so that it is right in between the 1x2 slopes that we did in the last step here. And then right behind it is another cream 2x8 here in a vertical position so that everything is still connected together. Then on both sides of that 2x8 is a cream 1x2 in a horizontal position right here. And then to the left and the right side at the top of those 1x2s is an orange 1x1 so that it is in line with the rest of Charizard's body. Then at the back here is two 2x4s in a horizontal position again. Then right here on both sides, it's a little awkward, but it is, it will make sense later on in the build. Two orange 1x3s in a vertical position. Then two orange L's, where this one is facing the gap is facing the northwest, and this one is northeast. Just make sure that it is at least connected to the, for the left side, it is covering the majority of the right of the 1x3. And on the right, it is the left of that 1x3. Then in between each of those L's is two orange 1x2s. One here, that's right, 2x4, sorry. One here and one here. Just pretend like it's a big 4x4 when you're placing this brick so that you can just make sure that the bricks are in a horizontal position, because if they were to go in a vertical position, it would look, would be a little bit unstable, especially as you're going to build the next step. But in a horizontal position, it's more structurally stable than it is in a vertical position. So with that over and done with, I'm now completed step 17, and I'm going to get to work on step 18, where it looks like we're adding some more curved bricks onto the model. Step 18 of the build is now completed, and we have filled in the gaps, well, added some more slopes, bricks to the model. So let's start with what I began with. I've done some 1x2 slopes here, but then not the steep ones. Just make sure that when you are sorting out your bricks, that the steep ones and the deep ones aren't mixed together, because it can cause a bit of confusion. Then I grabbed 3 cream 2x3s and placed one in between these two slopes here, and then 2 more on the right side and left side here. Then, working on both sides, I did an orange 1x2 with a deep slope right here at the front, right behind the cream steep. Then, right on top of it is a orange 2x3 in a vertical position, making sure that the majority of the pegs are in line with the 1x2 steep slope that we did earlier. And then I grabbed 2 more of those bricks on both sides so that they are kind of working towards Charizard's arms. Then, right here at the back, on top of each of the odd row of, the even row of 2x2s, is a T, where the odd peg on the left side is facing west, and on the right is facing the east. Then I grabbed 2 orange 2x3s, one here and one here in a horizontal position, making sure that the 4 pegs here at the bottom were in line with the 2 and the 1 row of pegs of the T right here. Then I grabbed an orange 2x4 right here so that it does connect everything, and that halfway it does meet the 2x3s that we placed. And then 2 more orange 1x1s right here and here, so that they're on top of the 2x3s, but also to the waistline of the 2x4. So that's it for step 18 of the build. I'm now going to get to work on step 19, where it looks like we're going to get some more curving done for Charizard's body. We're now done with step 19 of the build, and we have got more curves, and we've nearly done with the top belly of Charizard. So this is my foundation brick right here. It is this 2x4, cream 2x4 with a slope to it, and I had to make sure that the slope is facing right here towards the body of Charizard. Otherwise it would look really awkward, and building the rest of the model would be a real pain just to try and fix this. Then I grabbed 2 1x2 creams and placed them in a vertical position and in line with the row of pegs from that cream slope that we put on earlier. Then I grabbed 2 orange 1x4s and placed them both in a vertical position. One here and one here. And then on top of those, at the odd row, well, at the end of each peg, is 2 more orange 1x2s with the steep slope right on it. Then right behind, on top of each one, is an orange 2x3, one here and one here, both in the horizontal position. And of course, a row of 3, the row on the left here is in line with these pegs, and the same again on this side. Then at the back right here is 2 orange 1x4s, both in a vertical position, trying to make sure that it looks like a 1x8, which would be helpful, but never mind. And then a orange 2x4 right here at the back of the model for Charizard. Now, we haven't got anything yet for the arms for Charizard. Hopefully we will in the later steps, but for now I'm going to get to work on step 20 of the build. Step 20 of the build is now completed, and we do have some more orange and creams to go through, but it's nearing the top of the body, so which is a good sign for us. So I began with this, with the cream 1x2s with the slopes on them, right here and here. Then I placed just to make sure that they are in line with the steep 1x3s that we did in an earlier step. Then I placed a cream 2x4 in between them in vertical position, making sure that they are lined up like a 1x6. Then I grabbed 2 orange 2x4s, one here and one here. Then 2 orange 1x2s and placed them kind of on the right side of this 2x4 here and the left side here, also in a horizontal position. Then I grabbed 2 orange 2x3s, one here and one here in vertical position, horizontal, sorry, and then placed them right on the opposite sides of the 1x2s that we did. And then the same again with 2 more 2x3s, where they are at least one row of peg connected to the 2x3s in front of it. So it should look like this now. So with step 20 over and done with, I'm now going to get to work on step 21 and carrying on closing the rest of Charizard's body so that it gets closer and closer to the neck. Step 21 of the build is now completed, and it is getting closer and closer to the top of Charizard's body. So, first of all, I grabbed 2 cream 2x3s and placed them in the vertical position so that they look like a cream 2x6 instead of a 2x3 each. Then I grabbed 2 orange 2x2 slopes and placed them both at the top row of the 2x3s. He's right here and here. And then on top of each one is an orange L, where the gap on the right side is facing the northwest and the left side is facing northeast. And then to fill in the gaps, we've got an orange 2x8 in a vertical position, all connected nicely. Then right here, on the, one peg of row of pegs away from the 2x8s, there are 2 orange L's. There's one here and one here. Now this one has the gap facing the the northeast, and this one is the northwest. Then in between each of those, those 2 L's is an orange 2x4 in a horizontal position, so that it kind of looks like nearly an odd 2x6, if you will, but it is in line with everything. Then I grabbed 2 orange 1x1s, one here, and then placed another one here. And that is it for step 21. And now I'm going to get to work on step 22, where we've got a new piece to introduce. And it is an orange 2x2 with a finial bowl right on one side. And that's what we're going to be working with next. Step 22 of the build is now completed, and we've got the 2x2s right here at the back. Yes, so that wasn't where I started. Where I started was this cream 1x4 right here at the front and in between both of those 2x3s right here in the middle. Then at the back, I grabbed 2 orange 2x8s and placed them in vertical position. So the first one is in line with the slopes that we did earlier, and the second one is just on top of that first one. Then in the middle of those 2x8s are 2 orange 2x3s in a vertical position right here and here. And then at the back is the 2 orange 2x2s with the little balls, the finial balls, so that they are sticking. Oh, this one is facing the right side, and this one is facing the left side. So that is it for step 22. I'm now going to get to work on step 23, where we're going to get more of those finial ball pieces. We're now done with step 23 of the build, and we've got more finial balls attached to the model, and it's looking really good. So that wasn't where I started again. I began with the row of 4 1x2s with the steep curve right here, steep slope right here at the front, facing towards the front of the model itself. Then I grabbed 2 orange L's, and I grabbed one and placed the gap on the right side. And on the left, the gap is filled as well. No, this gap is facing southeast, and this one is southwest. Then, to make sure that the middle ones didn't feel left out, I had to grab an orange 2x4 right here in a horizontal position, so it looks like this. Then I grabbed the 2x2s with the finial balls right here, and of course this one is left and this one is right. Then I grabbed 2 more orange L's, where this one has its gap facing southwest, and this one is southeast. And then at the very back right here is another orange 2x4 to help keep everything together. So that is it for step 23. I'm now going to get to work on step 24, and hopefully we can get some more work done on the upper body, and hopefully closer to the neck of Charizard. Step 24 of the build is now completed, and we have got some more structural stability for the model. So I began with the 2 orange 2x4s right here and placed them in the horizontal position. And of course they were in line with the 2 of the 1x2 steep slopes bricks right here. And then at the back right here is another 2x4 where it is in a vertical position, and of course working towards that curve on the back of Charizard. Then on both at the front of the 2x4s is orange 1x4s, and they are also in the horizontal position and in line with the 2x4s that we started off with. So that's it for step 24. I'm now going to get to work on step 25, and it looks like we're adding some more finial ball bricks. Before we move on to the full foot construction as well as the arms of Charizard, on step 27, we do have a bit of a mini sub-assembly to do. And of course we do have new pieces to introduce you to as well. So we have got 18 orange 1x2 steps with the deep slope on it. So for this next step, for the construction of the feet, we're going to be using 4 of these, 2 on both of the legs, and we need to put 2 of them on like so. So that looks like Charizard is about to walk. And then we put on 2 2x4s in vertical position, like so. There we go. So that is the pre-assembly completed for step 27. I'm now going to get to work on building Charizard's feet. Step 27 has a 5-part process which will be needed to complete the feat for Charizard. As you can probably see on your screen right now, this is what it should look like. And I will be assembling it onto the model momentarily. But for now, I just have a few new bricks to introduce you to. So first of all, we've got a orange 1x3 with 2 pegs on it, in between each row. We've also got a 1x2 with 1 peg on it as well. So those are the bricks that we're going to be using. We've also got, if I remember, I think I have not introduced that brick yet. No, I have not. So it's a 2x4 with a row of a slope, which we're going to be using for the foot of Charizard. So, for the first step, we just need to assemble. We'll put this onto the model. 1x3. These 3 bricks on top like so that it looks like this. Then we start with the cream 1x2. And then we put on the orange L's. And we make sure that the gaps are filled by the cream 1x2. Then we put on another one, followed by an orange 1x4, 2 orange 1x1s, like this. Next up, another cream 1x2, followed by 2 L's, orange L's. Then, at the top right here, it's a 2x4 with the slope on it, and it should look like this. Then for the next layer, we apply the 1x2 with the 1 peg on it. Then 2 1x1s. And then we apply on 3 white circular 1x1s. As such. And that's Charizard's feet. Then we grab the 2x2, this brick right here, another new brick. In regards to those other bricks that I just mentioned, the 1x3 with the 2 pegs on, we need at least, if I can find, you need at least, where was it? Oh yes, you need 6 of those. We've already used 2. Then the 1x2 with the 1 peg on it, you need 12 of those. The 2x4 with the slopes on, you will need at least 6 of them. And then for these 2x2 with a slot in it, you will need at least, it is 10. But for this particular one, you just have to put it on, like so, and you have your 2 Charizard feet, and they are ready to go on to the model. As such, if I remember, there we are, looks right. Just need to make sure that it was, indeed it was, which is perfect. And the best thing about this kit is, you can position it however you like. So like this, and then the Charizard will be ready to breathe fire. And now that we're done with the feet, we can now move on to the arms. And also for those steps, we need at least 18. Steps 28 and 29 are practically the same step for the arm construction. So first of all, in order to get the long arms for Charizard, we need to apply a orange 2x4, and then 2 of these 2x2s with the connectors on them, and then we apply them on top of each other, like this. Then we'll be ready to attach them onto the body, but we will do that in a minute. First of all, for steps 28 and 29, there's also the matter of the claws for Charizard to build. So, first of all, we grab a 1x2 with a finial ball on it, and a orange tee. Then we put the finial ball on, for step 28, we put it on the right side, and for 29, it's on the left. Then we grab an orange L, use the majority of the L over the 1x2 with the ball on it, and then place it right in the middle of the orange T, like so. So they should both look like this. Then for the second part of each step, we grab an orange 1x2 with a step, slope, and then grab a circular 1x1, and then we apply it onto the talons like so. The claws. So that's what Charizard's hands should look like once you apply 6 of them. Once the sub-assemblies are now completed, we can then attach these hands onto the arms, like so. And then we can put these onto Charizard's body. So, it should look like this, which is fantastic. Charizard is fully armed and ready to grab his opponents, but he is missing a crucial component. He's missing his head. Step 30 of the build is over and done with, and it's a fairly easy step. First of all, I began with 2 orange L's right at the bottom right here. And this, and it looks like kind of a 1x4 meets a 2x2 right here in the middle. Well, if that's what you want to use. But for the orange L's, the one on the right is facing the northeast. The gap is facing that way. And the gap on the left one is facing the northwest. And of course, there is a 1x2 right here, to help keep everything together. Now, make sure that when you put these orange 1x6s on top of the orange L's, is that it is one peg away from the L's, so that it doesn't just looks loose. So just make sure that it is nice in line with everything else. But with that over and done with, I'm now ready to move on to step 31 and carry on with the head building. For step 31, there is 2 sub-assemblies that have to be completed before we attach it onto the main model. Now, I've already done it on the left side of the model, so it should be underneath. It's a L, an orange L with a 1x2 underneath it. And the one on the left side of the model, the L's gap should be facing the southeast, but on the right it should be facing the southwest. Then on top of it is an orange 1x2, followed by another 1x2 right here, kind of like a zigzag shape. And then on top, right near the gap, is a 1x2 with a peg on it. Then we attach this sub-assembly to the back, to the side here. And it should look like this. Will be a little bit unstable, but hopefully in later steps it should become a little bit more stable and secured for us to carry on with the build. And as we move on, we're now going to move on to step 32 of the build, where we're going to carry on working on more on Charizard's head. And actually, it's just a really easy step. It's a orange 2x4, then an orange 2x2 with a slope. Here it is. And this is what it should look like now, provided everything stays nice and stable. Then for step 33, it's an orange 2x3 on top like so. Then some 1x2s on both sides. One here, and one here. Perfect. And then we can move on to step 34. So we're now done with step 34, and it's really easy. Let me just turn this upside down and I'll show you. So I began with an orange 2x3 and placed it in a horizontal position. Then I grabbed 2 more orange 1x3s and placed them in a horizontal position, 1 peg backwards from the 2x3 that we started with. And then on top of those pieces are 6 orange 1x2s with a peg on each. So it should look like this now. This is what the underneath should be. So hopefully in step 35 it will become a bit more clearer on what we have to do. And speaking of step 35, we've got some new bricks to show ya. So first of all, we've got a rounded 1x2 brick here. And we've also got some 1x1s with a peg on the side. This is going to be great. So we're now done with step 35 of the build, and it was really easy. So I began with an orange 1x3 with 2 pegs on it right here at the front of the earlier step. Then behind it is a curved black, well, the curved black 1x3, which will be for the pupils of Charizard. Then right here is a curved orange 1x2 right at the front on top of the 1x3 with the 2 pegs that we did earlier. Then I grabbed 2 1x1 with a peg on the side and placed them on top of the curved black 1x3, like so. So that's it for step 35 of the build. I now need to get everything sorted for step 36, and I have to show you guys all the blue bricks that we need for this build. Now before we move on to the next step, I do have to introduce you to all the blue bricks that we will be needing for this build, and there was too many bricks to actually put into one separate box, so I did have to grab my Pikachu Deluxe box. If you want to check out the full stream, it's right over here, and of course use that as my secondary box. So this box is the Pikachu box, but let's get into the introductions. So we have got some blue 2x8s right here. We've got about 6 of those. We have 10 2x4s and 20 2x3s right here. Next up, we've got some blue 2x2s with grips on them. We've got about 6 of those. And 4 blue 2x2s with balls on them. Next up, we've got 8 1x6s right here and 10 1x4s. Followed up by 2 blue T's right here. 10 if I could just move the box, here we go. 10 blue 1x3s here. We've also got 12 blue L's. There they are. 6 blue 6 blue 1x2s with the slope underneath. Then we've also got 8 blue 1x2s here. Followed by, so these are the ones with the balls on them. And the ones without, for the joints. We've got 2 1x2s with the joints on them. We've also got 4 1x1s and 2 1x2s with no pegs on them. And I believe that is all of them. So now I can get to work on the next step of the build, which is a really easy step actually. Because all you have to do, first and foremost, it's a bit of a sub-assembly. So you grab the 2 blue T's, like this. Then you grab a white 1x3 and 2 white 1x1s. And then you put the white, the blue T's on top of like this. Then the white 1x3 on top like so. And then the 1x1s underneath as such. And then we just apply it onto this model here. This is what it should look like now. And then we can move on to step 37, where we just apply what we built on like so. There we go. So that is it for step 37. We can now move on to step 38 and carry on building the head of Charizard. And this one I'll do again on camera because it's really easy to do. There's no point in just not talking about it. So we grab 2 orange 2x3s and an orange 1x1. We put the 1x3 on like so, and the 2x3 on like this. Then we grab an orange 1x1, if I can find it. There it was, hidden in plain sight. Then we place it on the middle of the back 2x3 as such. Then we can put it on like this. And that should be step 38 completed. So now I can move on to step 39. And we do have another piece to introduce you to. We've got a 1x3 here with a long slope 2 pegs wide. So we're now done with step 39 of the build, and these 1x3s with the 2 peg wide slopes are put over the blue and the white bricks, as well as the 1x1 with a peg on the side, and of course they are on the left and the right. And in between those 2 bricks is a 1x3 right here to help keep everything connected. Then at the back is 2 1x2s with a peg on top, right here and here, so that they can start to form the next pieces for step 40 and 41. And in this step, we get 2 orange 1x3 curved bricks, and we put them on each side of the Charizard, like so. So he can be really, really mad at his opponent. There we go. And what we also need to do is grab 6 1x2s with inverted slopes on them. And then we place them on top of each other, which I will show you in a minute. So we do it like this. Here we go. And the same again on the other for the other side. And then we place them on top of the 1x2s with the 1 peg on it. So this is what Charizard's head should look like right now. And we can then move on to step 42 by turning this brick upside down and then introducing a new brick as well. We've got a 1x2 with a slot in it, but that's not the only thing that we need to do, because we also need 2 more of the inverted bricks. The 1x2s right here. Then we put it on top and over, like so. So it should look like this right now. And then we just need to grab 2 more 1x2 steps, which are, if I could find it. There they are. Again, hidden in plain sight. We put them on like so. And then we just place this on the model as such, just to make sure that there is plenty of gap for the mouth here, so that it will move around, which will obviously be later on, because we're now about to move into step 43. So step 43, there is 4 parts that we have to complete before we attach it onto the main model itself. So for the first part of the step, I grabbed a pink 1x2 with the finial ball attached to it right here. Then I put it on top of an orange 1x2, underneath, which is underneath the pink brick. Then underneath those 2 bricks are 2 orange L's, and the gap for the one on the right is facing the southeast, and the one on the left is facing the southwest. So that is part 1. Part 2, it's another bit of a sub-assembly, so we need to do something a bit like this. We grab an orange 1x3 with a slope 2 peg straight, and then we put on a dark brown 1x1, and then place it right here in the gap. Then underneath the slope section, we grab another 1x2, and then we place it underneath, so it should look like this. Then we place it in line with the pink brick that we did. So it should look like this. Beautifully constructed. Then we can move on to part 3 of the step, which will involve another on-screen build. So we grab 2 orange 1x2s with a slope underneath, and then a 2x3 orange and a 1x3, which is here. And then we grab, and then we put them on top the slopes underneath the 2x3. Of course, they should not be exactly in the underneath the pegs, but they should be directly underneath in the middle. And then we put the 2x3 on top to help keep it stable. Then for the back, we grab a dark brown or dark red 1x2, put it in the middle. Then the same again with the pink, then the dark red. And then we grab 2 white 1x1 circulars, and then we put them in front of the red 1x2s. So it should look like this. Then we can attach this onto this, so it looks like, I think, Charizard. It's all aligned perfectly. And before we attach this piece onto the main head, we do have one quick thing that we have to do, which is grab these 2 white 1x1s and then put them in this row of the orange 2x3 as such. And then we can attach this onto this. And now Charizard has a fire-breathing, as a movable mouth, which is perfect, and it's easy to fix. No super glue required. Now we can move on to step 44 of the build, where we need to actually build the neck of Charizard. So we're now done with step 44 of the build, and it's an easy, simple step to do. So I began with an orange 1x3 here at the bottom, and of course again on the other side. Then on top of those 2, I placed a orange 2x4 over them, and I have to make sure that the 1x3s are at the end of the 2x4s while they're in the horizontal position. Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to put on these 1x2s with the steps on them. Then on top, right next to those orange 1x2s is a 2x3 right here heading to the back. Then right here at the back is a 2x2 with a little orange slope on it. So with that over and done with, I've now got to move on to step 45, where we're building up more of that long flaming neck of Charizard. So we're now done with step 45 of the build, and it is a really easy step. So I began with an orange 1x3 on both sides where we put the 2x4 on, and I made sure that it was at least one peg heading towards the main slope, right where we put the 2x3, the 1x2 steps on. Then right next, in between it, it's an orange 2x3 where it's over, well, near the slope of the 2x2 that we did in step 44, and then right in front of that is two orange 1x2s with slopes underneath the bricks. Then for the top layer, I grabbed two orange L's and made sure that the gap, this one was facing the northwest and this one is facing the northeast. Then I filled in that gap with another orange 2x2 with a slope on it, just to give it that slumping neck effect. And then right here at the front are two more 1x2 with edges underneath the bricks. So step 45 is coming along greatly. I can now move on to step 46 where we're building up more of the neck area. We're now done with step 46 of the build, and it's coming along pretty nicely. So, first of all, I had to start with an orange 2x4 where my stylus pointer is, and put it in a vertical position so that it is covering the L's that we did, well, the bricks that we did earlier in step 45. Then in front and in back in the middle are two orange 1x2s. So there is a 1x2 in a vertical position, just filling up the gap left by the slope from step 45 right here. And of course one here to help keep the L's connected, which are on the top of step 46 right here. So this is, they're both of course, having the odd pegs facing the southeast and southwest here. Then we've got an orange 1x4 to help keep everything in line with those L's, because they are over the 1x2s and they are a little bit shaky. So make sure that you have this 1x4 in position as you're doing the build. Then right here is another orange 2x2 with a slope edge right here. So that is it for step 46. For step 47, it is the final assembly of the neck. We're now done with step 47 of the build, and it's come together nicely. We've got a nice long neck for Charizard's head right here. We will do the assembly in a moment, but first what I had to do was I started off with the two orange 1x6s and placed them both in a horizontal position, heading towards away from the curve of the neck, just in line with the orange 2x2 that we did earlier with the slope here. Then two pegs, one peg away over the L are two orange 1x3s, one here and one here. You just have to make sure that they are positioned at least two away from the back of the 1x6s. And then on top, you can put on two orange L's, where the one on the right has its gap facing the southwest, and the one on the left is southeast. Then behind those two in the middle right here is another orange 2x2 with a slope on it. So that is it for step 47. Let's move on to step 48, where we can actually assemble this. And you gotta make sure that this part of the head area of Charizard is connected to the slope that we put on right here. Here, so that it doesn't look a little bit awkward. And then we can put Charizard's neck, head, on his body like so. And he looks amazing. He's got his arms and his feet. Now he just needs the tail. So for step 51 of the build, it was really easy. I just began with putting on 8 orange 1x2 bricks with slopes underneath it and put them right over the connector bricks that we've put on step 50. Then in between all of those is an orange 2x4 right here so that it's all linked together. And with that, we can now move on to carry on with the top of step 51, where we just grab 2 2x4s with slopes on one row, and then 2 2x2s, and put them together as such. Then we grab an orange 2x4, another new brick, if I can find it. Should be easy to find. Oh, there it is. Here we go. So we start off with an orange 2x4 with no pegs on it. So it's kind of like a tile. Then we put it right in the front of the middle here. Then we grab, just so you know, you need at least 3 of these 2x4 without tiles here. And you need, how many? Yep, here we go. 3 1x2 tiles again. So for this one, we just apply on top as such. And we have completed one of the parts of Charizard's tail. And we're ready to move on to another part. We're now done with step 53 of the build, and we are working on another part of Charizard's tail. So first of all, I began with 2 cream 1x6s and put them together, and then kind of made it look like a 2x6 instead of a 1x6 each. Then on top of them, on both ends, are 2 orange 1x2s with little finial balls on the end. Then I started right here, and then put 2 orange L's, where the gaps are filled by the 1x2 with the peg on it. Then I worked this way, and placed a orange 1x3 right in the middle, as dead set as I can be with this. And then a orange 2x3 in a vertical position, as just to make sure that these pegs are, these 3 here, are in the middle of everything else. So that they're kind of lined up to the balls, in a way. So with that over and done with, I'm now going to move on to step 54 and carry on working on the curved top of the tail. So we're now done with step 54 and we're almost ready to attach this part to this part of the model. First, I should explain what I had to do. So I began with an orange 1x2 and placed it over the orange 1x2 with the finial ball right here. Then right behind it is an orange 2x3 with 2 pegs in the middle, and it has to be aligned with the 1x2 that we did earlier, otherwise it would not move well enough. And then I placed 2 orange 2x4s right here at the back, close to the near the big part of the tail. Then on the top here are 2 more orange 2x4s with slopes on one row of pegs, both sides. Then right here is 2 orange 1x2s in a horizontal position so that they are lined up with the rest of the build. So next up, we need to put on an orange 1x2 tile right here, and then place a 2x4 right underneath it as such. And then we can attach this to this, so that Charizard has a swinging tail. Woo-woo. But it's still not the right tail. We need to build more of the tail. So with step 57, it's just like what we did with step 53. We begin with 2 cream 1x6s, and they are lined up to each other to create a 2x6. Then on top of those 2 bricks, we have an orange 2x2 here with a connecting finial ball, and another 2x2 with a connector on the other end. Then to help fill in the gap, we got 2 orange 1x2s here in a vertical position so that it kind of looks like a proper tail in the end. Then for step 58, we just apply these 1x2 slopes underneath where the connector is. And then we put on a 2x4 tile on as such. And then we can move on to the flame on Charizard's tail. We're now done with step 59 of the build, and it's a good start to our flaming tail. So we begin with a see-through yellow right here of a 2x2. Then on top of it, we put on 2 yellow T's where it is back to back. So the one on the right has the out peg facing the the east, and the one on the left, it is facing the west. And the same again with the pair T's on top of that one. So it should kind of look like starting up working towards a see-through stairs. So with that over and done with, I'm now going to move on to step 60 to carry on with the flaming tail effect. We're now done with step 61 of the build, and we've got more details of the flame onto the model now. So we began with 4 clear orange bricks in 1x2s, and we put them over the odd pegs, one here and then one here, and then these 2 right here, just to carry out that flame effect. Then on top of those bricks is another yellow T where the odd peg is facing the west, and it is over the orange 1x2 and right here. Then right next to it, kind of one peg to from here, it is another yellow 1x2, so that they are covering the 2 at the bottom from step 59 that we've done. Then right here is a clear orange 2x3 in a horizontal position, so that is kind of aligned with the yellow T. Then at the top, at the back here, is another orange, clear orange 1x2. So it stays within the range of the flame effect for the tail. So with that over and done with, I'm now going to move on to step 61 to carry on with the flame effect and hopefully add some red to it. I'm now done with step 61 of the build, and then we do have some red to it, but we do have some orange to get through first. So I began with an orange 2x3, a clear orange one right here, and placed it over the yellow T that we did in step 60. Then right here is an orange L, where the gap is facing the southwest. And then on top of that is an orange 1x2 directly over it, followed by another orange L where the gap is facing northwest this time. Then here at the top is an orange L where the gap is facing southwest again, but it is filled by another clear orange 1x2 right here, followed by 2 clear red 1x2s, kind of like a red zigzag Tetramino from the game Tetris. Hopefully they'll do a Nanoblock Tetris set in the future. That would be awesome! But that is it for step 61. For step 62, hopefully, so I will begin with an orange, clear orange 1x1, and then place it right on top of the middle of the L. Then 2 red 1x2s with a peg in the middle. Sorry, with 2 pegs in the middle. And then I place them on top like that. Then I grab a red 2x2 and then place them on top of the 2 pegs that we did. Next up for step 63, we grab another clear red 2x2. Then we put on a red 1x2. Then we place it right here. Then we grab another 1x2 and a 1x1, and then we place it on like this. So we've got the flame, we just need to add it to a tip. And the only brick that can match that description is this 1x2 with a connector. And then we put it underneath right here, then we can attach it all together to give Charizard its tail. And then we can attach the tail directly onto Charizard's body. And there we go. Charizard has a moving tail. But he is, well, it is lacking some wings. And we're going to be doing that next, and we're going to do both at the same time. Since we're going to be doing both the wings at the same time, we're going to be showing you the step-by-step process on the screen so that they aren't out of sync with anything. So for step 69 for the wing on the right, the right of Charizard, and then step 97 for the wing on the left, we grab 3 2x8s for each wing, and then a 1x6, and for step number 69, we place it on the left side of the 2x8s, and for step 97, it's the right side. So that is it for that step. We're now going to move on to the next step to try and add a bit of structural integrity on the wings. The next part of the wings are now completed, and there is some structural integrity to each wing. So I began with a tile 1x2 and placed it at the bottom of the orange 1x6s right here, and then I'm attached it to a 2x8 as well. Then moving further into the 2x8s for each wing is a 2x2 with a finial ball right next at the end of each one of those bricks. Then a blue 2x4 in a vertical position where each wing has at least one peg off of the main build itself. Then on the top right here, to help keep everything secure, is another 2x3 right above the tile that we placed on earlier. So with that over and done with, we're going to carry on working on more of the wing for Charizard. So parts 71 and that was it, 99, both have 2 steps which have to be completed for sub-assembly. So I began each one with, almost forgot the other bricks. Here we go. So each one I began with a 2x4 and placed them in a vertical position. Then I placed a 1x4 at the back of each of those 2x4s. Then for this one, there's another 1x2 where it is at the back, right of the 2x4s, the 1x4 as well. And of course, this one's on the left. And then also on the left of that 2x4 is a 2x3 to help keep everything in line. So with that, we also need to put on an orange 1x1 right here, so that everything is connected nicely. Beautiful. And with that over and done with, I can now move on to the second part of each of those steps. Part 2 of each of these steps are now completed, and it was really tricky to build because A, I wasn't using this, and B, it kind of looked like a little puzzle, but managed to solve it, no problem, so I might as well just tell you what I started off with. I began with the blue 1x4 right here and placed it over the orange 1x1 that was at the end of each of those orange bricks. Then I grabbed the 2 2x2 connectors and placed them on both sides of the 1x4 so that they are connected together. Then I grabbed a blue 2x4 and placed it in a horizontal position and placed the one on this one on the right and this one on the left connector. Then with the 2x3s, the 1x3s, I covered them with a 1x2 blue And then right behind each one of those 1x4 blues is a 1x1. So that's it for those assemblies. So now I can attach these onto the wings, and it should be connected like this. This is what the wings should look like now. And we can now move on to each next step respectively. So step 72 and step 100. And it looks like it's really easy, so I'll just do step 72 here, and then work on the next step off camera. So I attach a blue 1x3, and then an orange 1x3, and then I place this blue 2x4 and on top here, and then another orange 1x3 here, followed by an orange L. And that's it. So I just need to do the rest for step 73. Sorry, for the other step. For steps 73 and 100 of the build, we just grabbed 4 2x4s, and then we stacked them in between orange 1x4s, kind of like how it should be. It should look like this. We'll use this side as an example. So this is what each of 73 and 101 should look like right here. Nice and connected, ready for the next assembly, which is going to be steps 74 and 102. So we've now done the next step for each of the wings. I began with the the blue 2x3s in a horizontal position, and made sure that they were connecting the two 2x4s and the 1x4 like so. Then on top at each end is a blue 2x2 with a peg finial ball heading to the outside of each of those wings. Then I grabbed another blue 1x4 and place it right here so that it's kind of connected together with the rest of the build. So with that over and done with, I now need to move on to steps 75 and 103. So for each one of those steps, I have to begin with a orange 2x4 and a 1x2, then place a 2x3 over. Actually, if I start with the 1x3, sorry, and then the 1x2, place it like that, and attach that to that. This is what it should look like. Perfect. And then do the same again for the other wing. Bloody. Here we go. 1. And then 2. And we can attach them onto both those wings as such. Then we can move on to the next steps, which will be steps 76 and 104. So we're now done with steps number 76 and 104, and before we attach them onto the main parts of the wings, I should explain what I had to start with first. So for each one, I began with an orange 1x6, and then a 1x4 right here on top of it, so that it's all nicely aligned. Then for step number 76, I placed an orange L on the right side of the 1x6s, and of course the gap is facing the northeast. And then I placed another orange L where the gap is again facing northeast again. Then in front of it, over the in the middle of the orange 1x6, is a blue 1x2 right here to help create that curved effect of the wing on the inside of the wing. Then right next to it is an orange 1x2 in a horizontal position, connecting the 1x4 and the 1x6 together. Then another 1x2 right here so that it's pointing downwards. And for step number 104, The L's should start on the left, and the gaps are facing northwest. So with those steps over and done with, we can now attach these onto the main part of the wings, as such. Then we can attach these. Hopefully I can attach, there we go. Almost. Might need to readjust one of these bricks. No, I think I've got it. Perfect. Then we can attach those onto step 7 through step 77, and then place that there, and then step 105. Like that. So that's what the wings should look like now. And we have also got to make sure that they are connected. So we need to grab a blue 2x8 for each wing. We don't want any gaps to be shown. And then a 1x6. And then the 1x6 right here. And we have got part of Charizard's wings. But we've still got some more work to do. So we need to move on to the next step, which is going to be step number 78 and 106. So for each one of those steps, we've got some new pieces. These are the only two of each that we'll need. 1x1 circular tube right here. So we attach 1x1, and if I can find the tiles. Which is going to take me a while. There we go. Okay, so first of all, we attach the 1x1s with the pegs on the side into a square 1x1, then on top, on like this, then a circular 1x1. We do it twice because we've got two of these wings to do. There we go. And then we can attach, then get to work on the wings build itself. See you in a second. So we're now done with building up more of the wing here. So what I did, for each wing, I began with a blue 1x6 so that they are directly over the connectors from earlier in the build. Then from the third one from the bottom is a blue 1x2 with a slope underneath the brick so that it has that nice curved effect, or I believe for when they are connected to Charizard's wing, nothing bad happens to it. Then I grabbed an orange L for each wing and filled in the gap of those L's by the blue 1x6s, so they're nicely connected here. Then I grabbed, this is kind of like almost like a snake set in a way, an orange 1x3 in the horizontal, then placed another one in the vertical, followed by another one in the horizontal, then another in the vertical, so that it looks like this. Then on top of each one of those 1x3s, right near the inside of the wings, is an orange 1x2 in a vertical position once again. Then another orange 1x3 at the top, so that it does connect, the majority of it is over the 1x2 that we placed earlier. Then I grabbed an orange 2x3 and I placed it in a horizontal position right in line with the 1x3 that we placed earlier. Then I placed a orange 1x1 right on top of the 1x3 where the odd peg from underneath the 1x2 is covered. Then I grabbed another 1x3 here and placed it over this part here right next to the connector. And then another 1x2 right here at the top so that it is in line with the vinyl balls. Then, of course, from what we did earlier, not too long ago, I placed those bricks right here at the end of the wings so that it looks like Charizard has that tip to it. So with that over and done with, we have to put them aside so that we can move on to the next step for each of the wings. So we're done with steps 79 and 107 of the build. So step 97 is right here. So I began, this is 107, 100, yep, 107, I am 100% positive about that. So for each one, I started off with a orange 2x4 and I placed them both in a horizontal position. Then on top, right on each one, is an orange 1x6 right here, where for this one, it's more, the 4 pegs are facing to the, heading to the left, and the right is heading to the right. Then I placed a orange 1x3 right next to the 2x4 right here, and of course right here. And then an orange L, where the one on the left has the gap facing southwest, and the one on the right is facing southeast. Then I grabbed an orange 1x2, placed one in a vertical position, kind of aligned with half of the 2x4 here, right to the right, and of course making sure that it is one peg away from the rest of the build. Then to its left and of course its right, I placed a 1x2 in a horizontal position to carry on with the spiny wing effect, and then finally another 1x2 right here. So that is it for those steps. I'm now going to move on to the next steps each to carry on with building up more of that blue wing effect. With steps 80 and 108 both completed, it is nearly close for the wings to be completed, but we still have quite a way to go. So for steps 80 and 108, yep. So I began with the blue 1x2, where it is connecting the, if I could just turn it around, there we go, the 1x3 to the 2x4 right here. And then on top of it is another blue 1x3, where it's connecting the 2x4 to the 1x3 to the L. Then I placed a blue 2x3 so that it connects everything from up here together. Oh, damn. Okay, a bit of an oops moment on my part. So, first of all, this is what each of the wings should look like right about now. This is up to step 89, right here. And this one is step number 114, sorry, 117. So, we do have some orange 2x4, 2x8s underneath here. This is what the wings should look like, and then I believe a 1x4 right here, yep. Then 2 blue 2x3s, one on top of each other, then a connector right here, followed by a blue L, to the right and left respectively, and then a blue 2x8 to help keep everything together. So with that over and done with, and that little mistake fixed. Sorry about that, guys. Thought I was still on record. So this is what the next step should look like. Where the wings... Well, we've done 2 orange 2x8s connected to each other. Then I went around each one of them with some orange 1x6s. So one here, and then one here, and then one here. And then the same again on the other side. And then I grabbed 2 orange L's, where this one has the gap facing the southwest, and this one is facing southeast. And each one of the gaps are filled by a orange 1x3. So with that over and done with, I'm now going to get to work on the next step of the build. So we're now done with the steps of the build of we're done with steps 91 and 119. So for each one, I had to apply started off with an orange L, where this one is facing southeast, and this one is facing southwest. Then away and around over the parts that we did earlier, I placed a orange 1x2 in a horizontal position, then placed another orange L in the same position as the bottom L's for each wing. Then an orange 1x2 in a vertical position where it is connecting, above the odd peg of the L. And then another orange L where it is the same as the previous L's. Then over the top, near the top of the orange L's right here, is a 1x2 connector right here. Then to the right and the left and the right, sorry, is a blue 2x4 in a vertical position to help connect everything. Then underneath each one is another 1x4, followed by another blue 2x8 right here, so that it's in line with the orange 1x2 that we did in the vertical position. Then filled in the gap with a blue 1x1 for each one, and then a blue 2x3 in a horizontal position so that everything is connected. And now we can move on to connecting these to the model, the wings itself. So that's one wing, and that's 2 wings, both connected. Now we just need to fill in the orange gaps left by each one. So each one's going to require at least 3 2x3s and a 1x3 each. And there we go. So each wing is now completed. We just need to attach them, but before we do, we still have to make sure that they are model ready. So we need to go around each of the wings and attach the final bricks to each one. So I'm going to get to work on that. We're done with the final final details of each of the wings. So I began with an orange 1x6 in a horizontal position on the outer rim of the wings, and making sure that was at least 5 pegs away from here. Then on top, to the right is an orange, and of course the left is an orange 1x3, again in horizontal position, followed by a orange 1x1 to help connect everything, make sure that it's not loose. It doesn't look odd or anything like that. Then I placed a orange L, where on this wing it is the southeast, and this one is the southwest, followed by 3 1x2s in a vertical position, kind of like stairs, if you will, for both sides. Then a orange 1x3 in a horizontal, then another one in a vertical position on each wing, followed by one final 1x2 here to connect the top, and then a 1x4 right here, followed by one more 1x2. Then for the blue details, I've got a blue L, where this one has the gap facing southwest, and this one is southeast. Then to the the longer portions of the L's on the right here and the left here is a blue 1x3 followed by a 1x4 here and here. Then a blue 1x6, one here, and then one here. And then finally 2 blue 1x2s with with a slope underneath each of the bricks. So we're now ready to attach these onto the Charizard model. And then we can get him soaring in no time. And as you can see, the reason why that there was a blue tile is to help make sure that this doesn't break, come loose or anything. So, we can now attach these onto the back of Charizard as such. Did you like my little unboxing video? If you did, why not check out my other content right here? I have a nice little video for a Nanoblock set from a video game series, or I have a playlist right here for all of my past builds. And if you are new to the channel, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button so that you can help the channel grow, and ring the bell to get notified on my latest videos. Happy gaming guys, and I'll see you at the next unboxing build.